All right. We are back with the GSMC Wrestling Laureate Podcast brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Eric Rodriguez, here every Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific Time, 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Here to talk about everything there is in terms of the world of professional wrestling. Once again, I apologize for the technical difficulties. I don't know what's wrong with my computer. Bam, my ugly mug. It's so kind of great, so I can deactivate. And then bam, right there, here I am. Uh, a couple of chats. Who's leaving Raw, Drew McIntyre or Punk? At this point, I gotta believe CM Punk's gonna leave. He had that special guest referee spot on WWE NXT. I've been kind of, I did a show and I don't want to be like, oh, I'm the smartest wrestling fan in the world because wrestling fandom is all about entertainment. So like once again, it's like, oh, the predictions, I'm like this wrestling guru, and I'm not trying to do any of that. But a couple of months ago, I did a segment. A lot of NXT stars have learned under what CM Punk has taught. Also, CM Punk feels very, very, very comfortable in NXT. NXT's more of a, not like a broader or like a niche kind of audience. But, you can have a show at your hometown, Chicago, Illinois, probably like 6 to 10 times a year. Other than that, you're still doing shows at the Performance Center. CM Punk's a family man, his family, like his dog, his beautiful dog, Larry. Uh, wife, AJ Lee. I do feel like the best thing for CM Punk to do is for him to wind up on WWE NXT because it's going to do so much good for the brand. If you want some guy to be the face of your company, kind of ruffling feathers with Ethan Page, kind of ruffling feathers with Trick Williams, CM Punk really has no spot on Raw. I'm sorry. Like, I know a lot of people were just waiting for him to come back. I was too. And once again, like I said in the last segment, I was like, you know what? As a WWE fan, I was so happy about this storyline with him and Drew McIntyre. As a CM Punk fan, I'm disgusted. This isn't what CM Punk's all about. You know what I mean? And I know, of course, he was booked to win the Royal Rumble, was going to take on Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. Seth Rollins got injured. Punk got injured. McIntyre got injured. And just WWE creative was like, you know what? Week by week, we'll just play this by we'll just play by heart, play by ear. If I had to kind of have either one kind of, leave leave Raw, I feel like it's more beneficial for CM Punk to do so. I gotta be honest, it's got to. As of my predictions for Bad Blood, I'm actually gonna do it tomorrow on tomorrow's show. But if you have some predictions as well, Little Fettuccine, hit it up in the chat. We'd love to hear your predictions. Maybe I can, kind of ponder on it, think about it, and be like, you know what? My dude was right. Also, Punk needs he needs a repackage. Will CM Punk win the Royal Rumble? Roman Reigns has announced that he's going to join the 2025 Royal Rumble. Hasn't been a part of the Royal Rumble since 2020. I, he's a former winner. I I'm a wholesome believer that if WWE storylines kind of wanted everything to kind of like come into like poetic justice or irony or whatever you like, or oxymoronic, I would love to see Roman Reigns win the Royal Rumble, kind of like what Cody Rhodes did. Then you have him fighting against Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas at Allegiant Stadium. When on the other hand, in fact, that Roman Reigns now is the babyface. People love Roman Reigns. Cody Rhodes, I think Cody Rhodes, that's when Cody becomes heel. A lot of people a lot of people think that he's going to be heel. And it could work. Yeah, it could work 1,010%. Which we're going to talk about. We're not Cody Rhodes specifically, but we're going to talk about some WWE heels that didn't work out. And then we got another comment from Little Fettuccine, my boy. So who is Cena fighting? Who is Cena for the final run? I think it's going to be a number of people. I feel like 1,010% he's going to. I think it's going to be mostly, exclusive to Monday Night Raw. WWE, Netflix. Well, when they moved to Netflix wanted the whole Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns, basically everything that was happening on SmackDown to happen on Monday Night Raw, but WWE told them no. Basically, after they promised, which was kind of dirty. But then again, like at the same time, like WWE for the sake of making sure the storyline stays relevant, stays basically like it makes sense. They're like, you know what? Okay, well, we will put Roman Reigns and The Rock on Netflix once when, we kind of get things figured out after WrestleMania 41. So his opponent, as of John Cena's opponent, I would like to see him go one-on-one, mano y mano with Dominic Mysterio. I'm just kidding. No, that would be awful. That would be pretty damn awful. Um, I don't think he's going to get another championship run. I would kind of hate it if he did so. But it's open. It's open 1,010% with this whole John Cena, last minute, 6-month retirement tour. So I'm excited to watch it. John Cena wasn't really my cup of tea for the longest time, but overall, now he's good. All right, before we jump on into our next segment, make sure you guys hit up those super chats, those super stickers, because you guys are super awesome. We got my boy Emran's GSMC Soccer Podcast starting in about like 30, 41 minutes. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump on into this, worst heels in WWE history. WWE's most terrible heels. Obviously, if you guys have a heel that turned that you did not like in terms of WWE, hit it up. But yeah, let's go and talk about my heels that didn't work out. Daniel Bryan, I didn't love the way how he turned into this this whole guy like talking about the environment, belittling fans, fickle. You're so fickle right now. I didn't get it. I didn't think it was, I didn't think it was what WWE needed at the moment. Obviously, the only thing that's really, something to be proud of is the fact that he kind of helped Kofi Mania get started to the point where, the fans were, they were highly invested into Kofi Kingston because it's as a wrestling fan, it's hard to bet against Bryan Danielson or Daniel Bryan because he's so likable. Fans loved him. So Daniel Bryan thought to himself, he's like, you know what? I have to make myself look disgusting. I have to make myself look, basically like, I want to kill the fans, go out there and just, ugh. So it was good in terms of what Daniel Bryan did, but the whole heel turn, I didn't like it. With Eric Rowan too, I didn't think it was the kind of like the best way to go. Next, we got Tucker. Tucker for Heavy Machinery back in 2020. Otis won the Money in the Bank. Then he had a match with The Miz. Ultimately, Tucker was the reason why Otis did not win that match. It was ultimately the reason why he lost his Money in the Bank briefcase. And I get it. I get it 1,010%. But overall, these guys never fought. Usually when you have a rivalry, usually when you have a heel, especially in terms of the tag team division, you kind of have that guy go against his former tag team partner. But Tucker and Otis never fought. And that's crazy. That's wild. That because you basically sacrificed Heavy Machinery. You had this Money in the Bank, stench on the back of your neck that was like, oh, let's switch things up and let Otis win the Money in the Bank. I still, to this day, kind of think that it's a little problematic. I still, to this day, kind of think that Otis wasn't supposed to win that Money in the Bank briefcase because it literally just fell into his hands. But this whole, heel, Tucker going heel just didn't really make sense. Got another chat right here from my boy, Little Fettuccine 68, Naya, Cody, Roman, disqualifications, win. Interfere, Liv Morgan, and Finn Balor and Drew McIntyre. Oh no! Oh my God! Okay, here we go. Oh, this is predictions. Predictions. Okay. All right. Predictions. Cody will win. Um, God interfere. Ooh, that should be interesting. Liv Morgan wins. Finn Balor. That Finn Balor winning would be, would be kind of interesting. I would love to see that. I feel like Finn Balor does deserve a little bit more attention, especially after this whole, Judgment Day thing. I kind of hated him as a sidekick. Drew McIntyre, yes, I feel like, and I don't know if this is going to happen, but I feel like Drew McIntyre should win. Like Drew McIntyre, he's the face of WWE when he was doing it during the pandemic. He was so good. He was so good. He put on good matches. The fans were behind him. CM Punk, like, I get this nostalgic feeling. Like, I get it. Like, but at the same time, you have to promote your young superstars. If you want to just go all out and be like, oh, CM Punk, yes, take everything. You're essentially becoming what WCW did, and exactly that's how WCW died. So, I'm not once again not too sure if that's the direction they're going. But moving on. Nikki ASH. Nikki ASH, her heel turn was pointless. She turned against Alexa Bliss, and she was supposed to be this superhero, but at the end of the day, she ended up being like a bad superhero, kind of like when you saw Hurricane stand in the back. There's a hurricane coming through, and then you saw him turn into like Gregory Helms, and that's how. I don't know. I just feel like her heel turn wasn't really the best. Thought it was kind of stupid. But yeah. Next we have Mick Foley. Mick Foley, he turned heel during his feud with Edge. And then with the whole Edge and Lita kind of thing, he was very, the storyline, he was very impressed that Edge was basically kicking his ass. And, he was kind of doing this at the end of his career. Usually, when stars or legends kind of do this at the end of their career, people kind of cheer for them anyway. So, you kind of have Mick Foley as one of the worst heels. Next, we have Michael Cole. Michael Cole, his obnoxious views, talking on the mic, he was disgusting. He was disgusting to hear. But the thing that made him break character, the thing that kind of ended this whole Michael Cole thing was once when Jerry the King Lawler on live air had a heart attack. And for the maybe he had an epiphany. Maybe WWE creative had an epiphany and they're like, you know what? Michael Cole is kind of better of what we're trying to portray him on screen here because him as a heel, like loving the Miz, I get it. But at the same time, I was like, Michael Cole as an announcer he was so much loved as a babyface for the longest time. He was so loved. And even back in the day, you had Jim Ross trying to go heel. And, it didn't really work out. When announcers get involved with the storylines, it sucks. When, WWE chairmen, like general managers, like you saw with Eric Bischoff, Stephanie McMahon, Kurt Angle, it sucks. What Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis are doing right now, it's perfect. Absolutely perfect. You don't have to associate yourself with any storyline that's happening on the screen. But once again, rapidly running out of time. I hate it. Next we have Dean Ambrose. He was this moral compass. I have to fix what is wrong with the WWE. Turns out that's the reason why he left WWE. He was sick of what the creative was doing with his character, and by all means, it's 1,010% correct. When this happened, I was like, all right. When he went heel, then he wasn't heel. Team up with Seth Rollins because Roman Reigns, obviously, with the whole leukemia thing, and then he stabs him in the back after winning the WWE World Tag Team title. Like, I don't understand, and I thought that heel turn was one of the worst. Next, we have Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke Nakamura was one of the worst heel turns in WWE history. I'm not saying that people shouldn't have their fair shares of heel turns in their career. People make success out of it. Look at Shawn Michaels. Look at what's happening with Triple H, even Brock Lesnar. Even with The Undertaker was heel for a little bit. This didn't make sense because nothing really came out of it. All you got was a punk, disrespectful guy who was gonna and he kicked multiple superstars in the testicles multiple times, and that was his thing. And it was like, oh, bam! Guess what? I'm heel. Yeah. And after that, Shinsuke Nakamura's career never really bounced back. And it sucks because the way he won the Royal Rumble, and then he turned it, then he low blowed AJ. I thought it was one of the worst heel turns I've ever seen in my life as a professional wrestling fan. And next we have Tommaso Ciampa. Once again, much like Shinsuke Nakamura and Nikki ASH, this heel turn did nothing except the shock factor. Shock factors are cool, but at the end of 3 to 6 months, maybe even a year, if it doesn't make sense, don't do it. Don't break up a tag team for that. Like what I hope that they're not doing with the New Day. But Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano with DIY, they were great together. Moved out to the main, didn't work out with the main roster. Forced to go up against each other. Bam. Tommaso Ciampa turns his back. And then later on down the line, you have them come back as DIY. Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano magically come back together after all the bullshit that's happened. They finally won the WWE World Tag Team titles. Lost it to the Bloodline. Cool. Awesome. Great bookings. Great bookings, dude. I love it. Double fist pump. It was done. It was too fast. Too soon. 1,010%. Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano are way, way more talented. And if you want to put WWE Tag Team Division on the spot, you would have kept the titles on them. No one wants to see a constantly botching Tungaloa. No one wants to see a guy who can't even handle a promo Tamatunga on the mic holding the tag team titles. The best thing that should have done is that they would have let Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa win those, keep those championships. But ultimately, them fighting against each other, didn't really like it. Next, we got Mustafa Ali, the heart and soul of WWE 205 Live. Like, I get it. Like, it's cool. 205 Live, it went under. 205 went under. Left a lot of these cruiserweights stuck to find creative development in what WWE was like. You know what? We have these guys 205 pounds less. What can we do with these guys? Oh, I get it. Vince McMahon was probably sitting in his favorite chair. It's like, it'd be really badass if we let, the heart of NX of 205 Live, Mustafa Ali come in, band up a bunch of rejects, and we call it retribution, and it's gonna take off. It's gonna take off. It's gonna be the best faction inside the world. Essentially, I feel like this is what Judgment Day was supposed to do. I feel like this is WWE's creative. This was their first crack. This was their first crack at Judgment Day. Didn't really work out. It caused the demise of basically everybody's career, and it's including Mustafa Ali, although provided that Mustafa Ali is doing really, really well in X Division on TNA. But I don't know. It just wasn't really for me. And lastly, we got big time Becky Lynch, who went heel literally for like 4 months, maybe 4 months. And it was like, okay, this doesn't work. Guess who's going to be a babyface again? Like, and then bam, that's when, we saw Becky Lynch come back to the babyface once again. I'm rapidly running out of time. I apologize. Once again, apologize for the camera. Activate, deactivate. So yeah, we talked about our worst heel turns in WWE. And now, without further ado, we're going to talk about our best heel turns in terms of professional wrestling. So hey, do not go anywhere.